What is going on, gentlemen? Today, we are going to be discussing how I accidentally locked in from January to June. So it's been about 6 months of doing the right habits, moving in the right direction, and starting to change my life in the areas that I want to change. I have a video on my YouTube channel here talking about what I wanted to accomplish in my 2025 goals. And honestly, if you look at that video, the biggest thing that I have accomplished from that video is my face started to lean out. I literally... Maybe this is just my own personal critique, but I look so fat in that video. It's so funny. There's a double chin. It's crazy. It's literally insane. But today we're going to be talking about what has happened that has led to this point of getting direction and the momentum in the right direction, starting to do the things that I need to do, and slowly, progressively getting my life back in order. I am having so much fun making these long-form YouTube videos for you guys and just giving you a value dump of any advice that I have, and we're going to jump right into it. So we got our black coffee. Cold brew here today, venti, big sized. I am absolutely wired on caffeine. So good. Here's the thing I also wanted to mention. As I'm making these videos and you guys are watching these weekly, I'm going to try to get to 2 to 3 posts a week here on YouTube, but as we're watching these, I want it to be a coffee chat. So I personally like to watch YouTube videos like this. I like to go for walks, I like to have some coffee, and I listen to them as if they're a podcast. That's why I don't really have a whole lot going on here visually, because for you, this is a podcast for you, okay? You're here to just absorb information, so I would prefer it. You could put your phone in your pocket, have the YouTube video playing, plug in some earbuds, and just listen. I find that to be super beneficial in my own life because I'm able to get 10K steps, 20,000 steps in a day, but I'm also getting valuable information and learning from someone that I'm listening to. So that's my intention here is if you're watching this video right now, you're sitting down on your computer, eye contact with me, okay, we don't need to be like that, okay? You can go do productive things while listening to me. That's why it's mostly just audio and not really visual heavy in my videos, is because my goal here is for you to just go do something productive while we're talking, while I'm chatting with you, while I'm giving you information to help you grow to get to where I'm at, okay? Get to where I'm at faster. That's my point. Anyways, I'm not going to waste any more of your time because your time is valuable, so is mine. So let's jump right into this. Okay, so the major point I want to get across in this video is how I made a lot of progress just by doing the bare essentials. So the thumbnail of this video is a very distinct side-by-side picture of where I was at in January and where I'm at now in June. And the thing I really want to go over is how I've done the bare essentials to get to that point. Barely have actually been proper implementation. And that's where I'm getting back to now, is because I want to have proper implementation because I want to maximize my physique. I want to be in the best shape of my entire life because I'm going to be 25 in a couple years. I'm 22 right now. In a couple years, I'm going to be 25. That is where male peak performance, everything happens. I do not want to waste my peak of my life. I do not want to be my absolute anything less but than my absolute best when I'm 25, because that is peak. That is where I want to accomplish my absolute best physique. So now is the time to really lock in and get there. So basically, we're going to go into depth on how some minor changes, just things here and there, built up momentum in the right direction. And that 6 months and later down the road, I'm not as fat as I was. I gained a little bit of muscle compared to where I was at, and how I'm now moving in the direction I want to be moving. This video is about getting direction. It's about moving with intention more so than just here's the exact perfect framework you need to be taking to accomplish this, this, and this. We will get to the perfect framework that you need to be taking. I'm going to have plenty of stuff about that, but this video is specifically about gaining momentum in the right direction, a very high-level overview, especially for those of you who are just starting on either your lifting journey or you're just trying to get some better advice on what to do and how to progress. Like someone who's who's been lifting for years, whatever. Okay, so here's a couple things that led to me getting out of shape. Just need to go over this, just kind of the bare minimum for you guys who are watching, who are probably doing the things you shouldn't be doing right now. So biggest thing I have here, I have a script to the side. So if you guys keep seeing me look off to the side, it's because I'm reading off of my notes for you, just so I'm not yapping too much. Biggest thing, overindulging on eating out. Put the fork down, bro. If you are skinny fat, if you're fat, put the fork down. You don't need to be hinging at the elbow every single day, eating. It does not need to be like that. My biggest push is going to be actually meal prepping very soon, so I'm going to be making content around diet and whatnot. But Put the fork down, stop eating out, stop. A lot of the progress can be made simply by cooking more of your meals. That's the first and biggest step. You'll save more money. You can use that money towards investing in things that actually matter, but stop eating out like a madman. Sorry, I'm getting this cold brew in so I can have a lot more of a caffeine boost because I've only had about half of it so far. We need that boost every single day. Okay, so another thing too, oh my gosh, this drives me insane. What I was doing is that I was working out less than like once a week. Now this usually, before I had gotten to this slump, I was pursuing a career in insurance sales, and I was using that pursuit to, build my finances as an excuse to stop working out. That was a huge mistake. And what I was doing is I was going to the gym maybe once a week. And on that, I had this mindset. I guarantee someone watching this has this mindset. What you do is you're sitting around and you're thinking, okay, if I get 10,000 steps a day, or if I go for a run, or if I do blank, 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 cardio focus. You have this cardio focus instead of a lifting focus. And what you're doing is you're thinking, okay, if I do my cardio and burn 300 to 500 calories today, then I'll stay in my calorie deficit and then my physique will look so much better. No, 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 no. Get out of that weakling cardio only mindset. That is a ideology for weak soy boys, okay? You are not cardio only. Cardio is extremely useful when combined with proper heavy weightlifting, okay? You need to build dense muscle and cardio to be in peak physique shape, okay? So I was really heavily on this cardio only kick, and maybe like grab a kettlebell and swing it around, like not helpful at all. And then I was using work as an excuse not to train. So kind of what I was talking about, I was like, oh, I'm pursuing my financial goals right now. I kept giving myself this mindset of like, if I just pursue my financial goals, I've gotten in shape before, like I can come back to that later. I just need to stay on top of my financial goals and I'll keep pursuing that. And you know what happened? You know what really happened? This drives me nuts thinking about it. But here's the thing. Fitness is the foundation to building everything else in your life. Fitness is the foundation to turning your finances into the best part, turning your spirituality into its best function. Like fitness is the baseline that everything else can be built off of. Because when you have a healthy body, you have a healthy mind. When you have a healthy mind, you can take healthier actions and you can be a lot more conscious about what you're doing with your life. That's why fitness is crucial. Put that first. Don't ever put your finances first. Do fitness and everything else will follow. By the way, I'm fasted like maybe 13, 14 hours right now, and I'm just strictly on the black coffee. That's why I am floating. It feels amazing. So another thing I did too, I started sleeping in a lot. And this is just a cascade effect of like, oh, I just need to focus on my finances so I'll get more sleep so then I can focus better on my finances. Now, I'm not saying don't get 8 to 9 hours. I was more so just like staying up late very, very often. And this is something I'm still working on nowadays and getting that sleep schedule completely locked in. But I went from like someone who was psychotic about sleep. I needed to get 8 to 9 hours to basically getting like 5 to 6 to 7 hours. And I was like, oh, I just need to focus on my finances. I would sleep in the mornings and I would stop going to the gym early in the morning. I would get up maybe like 9:30. I prefer getting up at like 6:30 and going to the gym right after that. Love that. That's my favorite way to function. But I would sleep in, and it was a greater issue of just pursuing easy things instead of doing difficult things, okay? And that's what that larger issue was, is that I was just focusing on the easiest things possible instead of doing the difficult things that I needed to be doing to get that work done. So here is how we get momentum in the right direction. Here's how I shredded some of that fat, got myself back into the direction I need to be moving. And here's how we're going to continue to do that, okay? So momentum. This is what this entire video is about, is getting direction, moving towards the area we want to be moving in. It's not about perfection. That perfection doesn't matter here. We're not going to be thinking about that at all. It's about action in the right direction. That's all that matters. Like literally tomorrow, I want you to go and implement some of the advice that I'm about to give you right here in this section of the video, because this is crucial to fixing the direction of your life, okay? So here are the most impactful things that led to me starting to get back into shape, back to jacked, as I've nicknamed it, okay? Training 3 to 5 times a week in the gym. That's it. That's all you got to do, 3 to 5 times a week. Now, 3 to 5 times a week breaks down to, if you're actually smart with your training, that breaks down to about 4 to 5 hours a week in the gym. If you're working 40 hours a week at your job, you definitely got 4 to 5 hours you can sneak in for the gym. Get there, hustle, train heavy. And the most important thing, I'm coining this new phrase I've nicknamed compound crazy, okay? You must be compound crazy. When you get into the gym 3 to 5 times a week and live and die by the compound lifts, okay? It's going to be your squat. That's going to be your deadlift. That's going to be your bench. That's going to be the bent over row. That's going to be incline barbell bench. All those compound lifts, you know what the compound lifts are. Most of you do. I'll go over what those compound lifts are another time if you really need help figuring those out. But the compound lifts are crucial, compound crazy. That is the biggest and most important part of your lift. Basically, when I'm in the gym, I'm getting there for that first 20 minutes or so. I'm just focusing on the compound lift, and I'm doing 3 sets of 6 to 8 reps completely till failure. So basically, by that 6th or 8th rep, you should barely be getting that up, and it should be hurting. Not breaking anything and not actually like tearing muscles, but it should be a very brutal set, barely getting that bench barbell up, okay? 3 sets of 6 to 8 reps, super heavy on those compound lifts. Go crazy. That's where you're really going to build momentum in your physique. Build momentum. Compound crazy. After that, just go do a bunch of accessory work for whatever split you're doing that day. By the way, if you need a split, I have a link down below. It's a free training minimalist guide, 31 pages of a bunch of knowledge in there. Just go check it out. I have it linked below. You can get some advice on how to get started on moving in the right direction. Now, the next thing to get momentum in the right direction and really start getting back to jacked, you need to be eating through the 80-20 rule. All right, super simple, okay? 80% of your diet needs to be clean, high protein, whole organic foods, healthy stuff that grows on trees, stuff that comes from animals, products that have been minimally processed. 80% of the time you should be eating like that. The other 20% of the time, go and enjoy a nice greasy burger. Have something fun. Don't derail all of your progress by binge eating. I'm just saying 20% of the time you can have a nice dessert. You can go eat something fun. But as long as you're following that 80-20 rule and getting your protein in, high protein, eat 1 to 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight. So if you weigh 160 pounds, eat 160 grams of protein. Implementing that 80-20 rule is a simple way to get momentum in the right direction. Even if that's starting with a 60-40 rule, right? 60% of the time you're eating clean, 40% of the time eating whatever you want. Start somewhere and then get better as you're going with this. Now, for me personally right now, I'm more of like in a 65-35 split. I'm getting better at eating clean. I have my days where it's not always perfect, but if you get the momentum in the right direction, you do something rather than nothing. That's what matters, okay? You can build off of something. You can't build off of nothing, okay? 65-35, 50-50. I mean, honestly, yeah, 50-50. Just start with something clean as long as you're doing something, okay? Get the momentum going. You can structure it like this. Here's an actionable way. On the weekdays, you eat clean. You don't eat out at all. On the weekends, you can go and have some fun meals and not be as strict when it's Saturday, Sunday, okay? Super simple way to start. Or you can do breakfast and lunch, super healthy, clean, and then dinners, you can have something fun. Something like that. Just start with that, okay? Now, this is a game changer piece of advice for me, this next one here, that has really skyrocketed my progress. This has been so much fun. It has changed my social life, my mental health. It gives me something to look forward to every single day, and that is picking up a new sport, all right? This is where you can get your cardio in oh my gosh, I can't speak. Effortlessly. This is where you can get your cardio in without any effort whatsoever, okay? This is fantastic. I love doing this. This has been an absolute game changer for me, is picking up tennis and pickleball. Now, you don't have to do tennis, you don't have to do pickleball, but it is insane the benefits of picking up a sport in the evenings has been for me. So I like to lift heavy in the mornings, and then I like to play my sport in the evenings. Me and my family, we go play tennis for like an hour. We do that 2 to 3 times a week. So much fun. You are going to get so shredded, specifically from tennis too, because that sport is cardio intense. Insane. I'm always drenched in sweat, no matter if it's cold outside, if it's 60 degrees out and I finish up an hour of tennis, I'm always drenched in sweat. It's insane. Go play basketball, go play soccer, go play football, American football. If you're anything else, I don't know what you're doing. Go play baseball, go do any sport. Badminton, dude. Badminton is a fantastic one. Do any sport where you're up and running around and it's fun and you're competing with people and it's social and you're talking with people. and do it for fun, but do it to enjoy it in the evenings as your cardio. Look at it as a cardio, not as like a sport I must grind at, unless you are an athlete where you are like a D1. I don't know, do what you got to do, but like play it for fun. Pick up a sport and do it in the evenings. Try to do it 2 to 3 times a week as your cardio. Dude, it will skyrocket your progress. It is so much fun. It's been an absolute game changer. And it's literally effortlessly because I want to play just for fun. I want to play just to play. I get into flow state when I play tennis, and it's astronomical how much fun it is to be completely in the zone. Just mind is so present in the moment. It is absolutely astonishing how fun it is to pick up a sport. And I never really did sports. I did running. I would do cardio alone by myself to just do the discipline aspects of cardio. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you can make it fun and effortless, that is when it's so worth it. That is when it's absolutely a game changer. I would highly, highly, highly recommend doing that. Pick up sport and go lock in. Now, last thing I do, 10K steps, mandatory every single day. This has been also another game changer. Now, this one is kind of cardio, but you can here's how you can really automate it so you don't have to just like be walking all day and think of that as a workout. So the average American gets about 4,000 to 5,000 steps a day, right? And that's with a sedentary lifestyle, maybe 3,000. They don't get that many steps as it is. But if you really want to get close to that 10K steps a day, here is a super simple method. 3 times a day, you need to do just a 10-minute walk. Okay, now I know that kind of sounds like a lot, but think about it this way. If you walk 5 minutes in one direction and 5 minutes back from your house, from your office, from wherever you're at during the day, on a break, whatever, and do that 3 times, you can get close to about 8,000 to 9,000 steps. Maybe on your last one, you do a 15-minute walk instead of a 10-minute walk, and you can hit 10,000 steps. Now, here is why this is crazy. 10,000 steps roughly comes out to like 250 to 300 calories burned just by walking. Okay, so combine that with lifting, walking, and playing a sport. You will have such a high exercise level. You will be burning so many calories, using so much energy that your diet can be slightly not as good as the average guy who's like has to focus a lot more intensely on his diet because he's not training at such a high level. He's not as active at such a high level. Now, it's tough on your body in the beginning, but you get used to it. And it's a pretty low impact way to get your cardio in. So if you are training heavy in the morning, getting 10K steps throughout the day, and playing sport in the evening, you will get in such phenomenal shape. So fast. So fast. It is insane. So implement that 10K steps a day method to really, really amplify the progress. Absolute game changer. So stick to this path. Get intentional about it. Get that 80-20 diet. Focus on the things that really matter. And stay in the zone for every single day. Build on what you've improved, get better and better, and get closer and closer to accomplishing what you need to in your life. This is good, actionable advice. Like I said, this whole video is about creating momentum in the right direction. If you truly want the nitty-gritty details of I'm talking how do I do these exercises? How do I baseline create this split to implement in my life? What is the autistic level of detail and knowledge that I need to get to where I want to get to by getting in shape, getting jacked? Click the first link below in my bio. It's my new fitness program that I'm launching. Currently, it's at a discount because it's not fully completed. So if that's something you're interested in and you want the knowledge in this program, go check it out. I'm telling you, it's a curated set of videos. I'm going to have diet plans. I'm going to teach you every single piece of knowledge that I have in autistic level of detail. Currently discounted price because I haven't launched the full product yet. But go check it out. Click the link below if that's something you're interested in. If not, go check out the free split that I have as well. There's a ton of knowledge you can gain in there. It'll be very helpful in you getting in shape and learning more about what you need to do in your life. And get out there and get after it. I appreciate you guys listening to this video. Check out those links that I have below. Hopefully you had some black coffee, maybe went for a walk while you were listening to this video. I appreciate you guys checking it out. And I'll see you guys in the next video. That's pretty much it. Go out there, be active, stay jacked, and stay locked in. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.